Yep. All right. Okay. All right. We are now live on YouTube. Fantastic. All right. Welcome to the January 2018 edition of Ask AS21 on the 21st, our monthly webcast where we invite viewers to send in their questions about book publishing, podcast recording, video production. I'm Keith F. Shelvin, publisher of AS21 Media. We are an independent media company based out of Mount Vernon, Virginia. We do this webcast each month to give creatives and those that have that creative feeling the chance to get their questions answered, to get their thoughts explored, to help them create. So it is a new year. It is 2018. It's a new chance to create. It's a new opportunity to get going on whatever your passion is, whatever your story is, whatever you want to share with the world. And so feel free to send in your questions. If you're watching on Periscope, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got the chat capability there. Send in questions there. You can tweet to us at AS21. That's aois21. Use the hashtag AskAS21 and we'll get your questions right here. We do this every month. We usually have a good conversation. I think last month we were a bit light on conversation because, I don't know, maybe the holidays just kept people busy, but we're here tonight. Let us know what's going on. Let's see. Going to the Twitters. Hashtag AskAS21. And the latest. Okay. Nothing right now. And this. Hi, how you doing? There we go. Share it on Twitter. That's good to hear. Did you have a good weekend? Wow, 286 people invited. Fantastic. Thank you. So we're talking books, podcasts, and video series here. So any questions you have, feel free to send around. What are you reading right now? I'd love to hear about what people are reading. We usually actually do a full Facebook blast on that, but today's been a bit busy. Haven't had a chance to send that out. I'll probably do that before midnight. I just started reading. Let's see. I don't read, I write. Oh, fantastic. What do you write? Yeah. I just finished reading Galileo's Daughter by Dava Sobel. I'm about to start Unfortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. Let's see. So if I had my arms torn off by an alligator, I had to wipe my ass. Would you help me? Uh, if I had to, I guess so. You write fiction? Fantastic. That's an odd question there. Why those pop-ups on the screen disappear just a little bit too fast. Sorry, I didn't get to. I think it disappeared before I could see it too fast. You said you write fiction. Any specific type of fiction, genre fiction, literary fiction, science fiction, fantasy? Just checking the timer there. Action realistic. Cool. That's a good market. What do you write? Is it shorter stuff, longer stuff, blogging? What type of medium are you working in? medium-sized? All right, are you publishing or are you just keeping it yourself, sharing it with friends? Okay. Well, I am here to answer any questions you might have about the publishing process. At this point, we have published here at AS21 20 books. I personally have written and published 3 books, and I'm working on 4 more right now. So we'll see if I can, knock those out this year. That's one of my goals, my resolutions for this year is to finish one of those 4, preferably all 4. We'll see. Well, first of all, determine if you're finished writing it, and if you've done as much as you could with it. And then the first goal is to have somebody read it, either a good friend, family member, something like that, just to give you the feedback. Because having someone close to you give you that first feedback, it's something that you will hopefully take more to heart and understand that the person is trying to give you honest and constructive criticism. And then from there, you would start the process of trying to find somebody to work with. Oh, cool. Cool. Have you gotten any feedback from those 5 to 10 people? Very good. Very good. Okay, so then what you need to do is once you've finished your last edit, is you need to start shopping around for the possible different publishing things that you can go on. You could self-publish using a site like CreateSpace or Lulu or Ladarius or uh, there's a couple others out there. If you just want to do something like an ebook, you could just work with Smashwords or Amazon or a couple others. If you want to try to find a traditional publisher, for those you need a literary agent. Oh yeah, it's definitely easier. It's all in your hands if you self-publish. You get to some self-publishers offer editing, some don't. Some offer help with cover design, and all of them offer at least the ability to have the finished book either in ebook or in print, and then some very basic distribution. Whereas, like, CreateSpace that puts your book on Amazon, Lulu has their own market, uh, and some of the other self-publishing houses, they have some sort of cooperation with another company, some sort of distribution help. I just understand if you are, I mean, yes, it is the easiest thing to get started, but then once your book is out there, it's entirely on you to do all your marketing and sales. Cool. Well, for action, adventure, fiction, there's quite a market for that right now. One thing you can consider, if you are interested in just a little bit more work, you could at least try to shop around with some of the independent publishers that might be interested in your work. Traditional publishers is a very, very difficult process now. If you want to don't understand the difference. Okay. Well, there's nothing stopping you from starting to write the next one while you're trying to get the first one published. There's nothing that says you have to focus on only one at a time. We're in the process of publishing the book, The Will of the Magi, that one of our authors wrote. And while we're doing the editing, he has now started writing his next book. So, oh, cool. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's a good market to get into right now. And having that ability to write in several different genres is a definite plus right now. There's no reason to pigeonhole yourself in just one genre. I mean, my first and second books were both fiction contemporary fiction. My third book was a sports memoir. The 4 books I'm working on right now, one of them is contemporary fiction. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, dystopian is a very, very popular genre right now. It's been going for a while now, but it's pretty much been kicked into overdrive over the past 14, 15 months. So there's definitely a lot of people out there interested in good dystopian work, especially ones that present a different idea of things than what was already done in Handmaid's Tale or The Road or Walking Dead or any of those, and the themes that they explore. So, yeah, so for when considering what to do with self-publishing, I mean, there's plenty of online services that doesn't matter where you are, they can work with you. But I also recommend looking in your area for any independent publishers. That now some of them are very niche, where they will only work with certain authors, certain genres. There are a few open genre publishers out there, and there are a few that are limited, but not as limited as others. Like some that only work with women authors, some that only work. If you're working with an independent publisher, usually you don't have to have an agent. Sure, you can ask whatever you want. Usually, when working with if you're self-publishing, you're in charge of filing your copyright. If you're working with most independent publishers, they will help you with it. That's sending 2 copies to the Library of Congress, paying the $35 copyright fee, and then the copyright is covered. But even if you don't actually file the copyright and you just put the copyright symbol and your name on the versa of the title page, your book is copyrighted. It doesn't have to be sent through the mail. You don't have to make some grand statement. Once you put that on the backside of the title page, it's copyrighted, it's done, it's finished. And if anybody tries to take it from you, you have full right to take them to court. But if you're actually file it and pay the $35 fee, then that strengthens your case in case anybody tries to steal your book. But yeah, if you do it self-publish, it's all on you. Yeah, I understand that. That's good. That's fine. You can do it all electronically now. You don't even actually have to send in print books anymore. From where I've worked at the library, that's my full-time job. Not today, unfortunately, but with the Library of Congress is working with a lot of those book submissions that come in. They do take electronic submissions, so you don't even have to send in a print book, and you can even just send the manuscript. If it's just a Word document, they can accept that. Well, now independent publishers are actual companies, and it's a case of those tend to be authors themselves that build up the skill set of selling their books and are now sharing that skill set with other authors. That's what happened with me. I published my first 2 books. Then, funny, when there was the last government shutdown, I started up this company, and now I have 15 authors with 20 books available, 10 podcast series, and 5 video series. So it's incredible what you could do when you can find creative people out there and help them really tell their story. So yeah, a lot of independent publishers started with that, where you had someone who either wrote a book or had a friend or a family member that wrote a book. We have a very close friendship with another independent publisher here in DC called Possibilities Publishing. And in that case, it's the daughter of an author started her own company. So there's all kinds of different stories for independent publishers out there. It depends on how thick the book is. It depends on the type of paper, the type of binding. Typically, I've seen an average trade paperback, which is 6 inches by 9 inches, run about, if it's 100 pages, which would be, of course, double-sided. So really, that'd only be about 10,000, 15,000 words. That's about $2.90, $3 per book, but that's just a rough estimation there. It depends on how thick the work is. It depends on uh, what type of cover artwork, any additional artwork that would be inside. So, and then of course the size. Typically, if you're working with, yeah, probably $3 per book is for the smallest book. That's an individual price. Some of the self-publishing companies need need you to put down a certain amount of money to start. Well, there are some where they have a setup fee where they will charge you to help to set it up, and then they'll a low rate after that. Others, it all depends. It depends on who you were looking at. I mean, we've had. If you're working with a regular printer, they want you to order a certain number of books. If you're working with some of the print on demand, they don't. It doesn't matter how many you order. Although with them, the price goes down the more books you order. It's typically like I know my experience with Lulu specifically, they knock 15% off for every 15 books you order. Okay, so that's 120 pages in 8.5 by 11. Oh, so that probably be about. This is a rough estimation depending on the margin size and the size of the font. I'm guessing you're working at something like Times New Roman size 12 or what is it, Calibri size 12. You're probably looking at about 240, 250 pages. So you're probably thinking if you're working with someone like CreateSpace or Lulu. Okay, Times New Roman 14. Oh, 14. Okay, that's bigger than you would want actually going to print. And then, of course, that's not putting in whatever page breaks you would need, title pages, copyright notice about the author, and all that. So let's just guesstimate there about 200, 250 pages. So that's novella size, just short of novel. Uh, for that, you'd probably be looking at $5, maybe $6, $4 to $6 per book, depending on paper quality. And if you're working with someone like CreateSpace or Lulu, it's not that hard to set up. Yeah, absolutely. The average book you're looking at about 200. Let's see what do we have here. Economic growth of the United States. That's about 300 pages right there. So that's what how thick a 300-page book is. Great Gatsby, trade paperback size. That's about 240 pages right there. Here's Arthur Miller, Death of the Salesman. That's 140 pages. So you can see how thin 140 pages is. And it's a little bit less than trade paperback size, but just an idea there. Well, it's a labor of love doing writing. It was 5 years for my first book to get done, so I can imagine. All right. Well, it could be a hobby. My writing started as a hobby. I'm full time. I'm a librarian. Part time. I'm a publisher and author. So yeah. Well, as my dad always said, find a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. So if you like writing, then be a writer. There was someone else that said they wanted to ask a question. I didn't see Any question from them pop up? Yeah, it's amazing how that works sometimes. I wrote my first book because I was antsy to start writing on a larger book project that 14 years later I still haven't finished. Yeah. Well, yeah, you could put an unedited copy up there on Amazon. I mean, with CreateSpace or with straight through Amazon, yeah. Hello, Scotland. Good to see you. We're here in Mount Vernon, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. Uh, yeah, you could put it up there, and who knows, you might even sell your own sell a couple copies to other people. But yeah, there's nothing stopping you from just putting it up there. I haven't read Lonesome Dove. My wife has read some of it, and she's watched all of the TV series. No, it wouldn't work right from word to book because what they would do is they give you a format, and then you'd have to change the Word document to that proper format. Because typically you'd want Amazon prefers trade paperback, which is 6 by 9. So primarily, yes, because we're an independent media company, so we do books, podcasts, and video series. So that's the questions I'm looking to answer. If you have a question about something else, I might be able to answer that as well. There isn't there isn't an app for that right now, and I think a lot of the publishing industry is hesitant for there to be an app like that because to maintain the quality of the market, they want to make sure that there are still certain gatekeepers, editors, proofreaders, reviewers out there. There's nothing stopping you from putting it all on a blog and just putting it online. The expertise regarding the thing I mentioned. Well, I'm the publisher of aois21 Media, independent media company based out of Mount Vernon, Virginia. We've been operating since late 2013. We have 15 authors with 20 stories, open genre, so it's all types of books. We have 9, about to be 10 podcast series, 5 video series. We've exhibited at book fairs across the DC area. Right. Well, yeah, but that's for the electronic release. If you wanted to do print, they're going to want you to change the format of the Word document to a proper page size and have they'll probably tell you some other formatting things that they want because they don't probably not going to want it double spaced or with any with certain set margins. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I am. Yeah, yeah. That's the price I've seen from a lot of places. Some is a higher charge. I know there's a uh, print-on-demand service based out of Towson University in Maryland, where they charge you a $50 setup fee, and then it's like $5 per book, no matter what size. That's one that's supported by a university, but Lulu's been around a long time. It's had a lot of customers over the years, so it's a lot cheaper. All right, that's fine. No, I'm not recruiting authors here specifically. This is a free service that we offer on the 21st of every month because I like storytellers and I want to help them tell their stories. So I'm not here recruiting specifically. If you want to check out what my company does and the services we offer through our self-publishing arm, ePress21, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm more here as a public service. This is something I like doing. We try to do it every month. Sometimes technical difficulties, the weather, and family issues keep that from happening. But I'm here right now. See. Oh yeah, absolutely. With a business model behind us. I hope that be able to share the stories of what we do at AS21 makes you interested in what my company is doing, and that you check out our self-publishing arm at ePress21 and see the services that we offer. We offer all of our editors, designers, and publisher work available for reasonable fees, and try to help authors tell their stories. We've done that not only on top of the 15 authors we have signed at AS21, but we've helped several authors beyond that and creators. Because not only do we help provide editing services or cover design or ebook distribution, but we've also do podcast production and video production. And for anybody that wants to watch this webcast from the start, it will be uploaded on our YouTube page after this is done, as well as our video series page, video.as21.com. It'll be up there with all of our other video series, including past editions of this. This is actually one of them. We usually have a few questions. No, we take business risk still. I mean, that with our 15 authors we have, there's a lot of risk with it. But we don't work at like a traditional publisher in the fact that traditional publishers, well, a lot of them don't take as much risk. We take a bit more at times. But traditional publishers try to keep everything in-house, but they also have a lot of gatekeepers. They require to work with literary agents. They require you to have a certain following or guaranteed sales already available to you. In my company, we don't do that. We just are interested in the stories themselves. When we work with our specific authors, most of our income from them is a percentage of royalties. So, all right, for those watching on YouTube, we got to cut off now, but we're going to continue talking on